Aries. Today, the opening does not arrive shouting. It comes through a detail that can change direction. The risk turns personal when a detail that can change direction decides how much space you leave to your center. Jupiter makes your near field of words, exchanges, and environment more generous, but also riskier if you confuse trust with scatter. This is the kind of opening that seems too small to change the day, until you miss it. For Aries, the point is to use fire as precision, not reaction. If you keep watching too long, the useful signal can lose weight, not because it was false, but because you never chose its moment. The stake is not winning fast. It is not letting a door pass you by when it will not stay open forever. The door does not always disappear. Sometimes it stays open, but you arrive with less force. Move. Choose one verifiable step and take it before your mind opens too many exits. Save it for the moment when fear tries to rename itself common sense. Taurus. When a message that asks for courage comes back around, the message is clear. Enough theory, real friction is needed. The line serves to protect your center. A message that asks for courage cannot stay open at your expense. With the sun active in your near field of words, exchanges, and environment, the scene becomes visible. You can't treat it like noise anymore. This is the point where the day puts before you not the whole problem, but the first piece you can actually move. As long as you keep watching, that block looks bigger. The second you choose the first step, it loses power. If you don't touch the real knot now, tomorrow you may have less energy and the same problem. For Taurus, useful stability today is not stillness. It is giving shape to what actually weighs. If you don't make that move, the day passes and the problem keeps its throne. Take the smallest piece that creates real momentum and do it before it turns back into theory. Keep it close at the point where fear tries to pass itself off as method. Gemini. Do not accept a price just because the conversation is uncomfortable. The knot is not huge, but it is precise. A promise that needs measure decides how clear you stay in the scene. The sun's light on the resources money value axis makes the command of the scene visible. Now you can choose whether to take it or be taken by it. It's a practical question dressed up as a favor. If you do not measure it, it takes more space than planned. Money is only part of it. A promise that needs measure also tells you how much space you are granting without agreement. Today's real loss is not looking rigid. It is giving away value before you even named it. For Gemini, mental speed only helps if it is not another way to delay. If you leave that margin vague, someone will use that gap to their advantage. Move, name cost, time, or limit the moment you feel the discomfort rise. Tomorrow will care that you saw cost, promise, and value in the same place. Cancer. Today, care is not generic softness. It is a practical choice. The signal not to ignore is this. An emotional base stays harmless only as long as you give it shape. Moon trine true node. In the home roots emotional base area, there is no need to dramatize. You just need to stop lying to the scene. The tired part should not be silenced. Inside an emotional base, it is showing you where to restore measure. This is the point where recovery stops looking like a luxury and becomes the base that keeps the rest from falling apart. If you keep treating recovery like an optional extra, the day can end with more presence lost than real results. For Cancer, today asks for tenderness with limits, not availability without form. If you keep forcing that tired part, the price can show up as the wrong tone, an impulsive reply, or fatigue steering everything. Move. Reduce one concrete demand before it becomes the center of your mood. Keep it close. Recovering today may be the most adult choice. Leo. There is a narrow window for Leo. If you wait too long, it becomes noise. Picture one room. Inside it are a living margin to use now, your reaction, and what you no longer want to carry. With Jupiter active, the identity body presence axis can become leverage, but you need measure, or the opening turns into excess. This is a practical door, not a dream. Touch it now, or you will meet it again already turned into delay. If it becomes only a detail, A living margin to use now loses force. If it enters the choice now, it gains direction. The stake is not arriving tomorrow with the feeling that you saw the right point and showed up too late. If you do not give body to the real possibility, tomorrow you may remember it as a signal, not a choice. Move. Choose one verifiable step and take it before your mind opens too many exits. Come back here before you call fantasy what only needs timing. Virgo, if you leave a value still unmeasured in the vague zone, someone else is already choosing its value for you. Do not trust tension alone. Ask a value still unmeasured for something practical, verifiable, present. With the sun active, the resources money value axis becomes a mirror. The real point shows in the way you expose yourself. This is the point where a seemingly small request starts telling you who is really setting the price. This is not greed. It is stopping the discomfort from making the estimate on your behalf. For Virgo, the risk is polishing the outline so well that you never touch the knot. Today's real loss is not looking rigid. It is giving away value before you even named it. If you leave that margin vague, someone will use that gap to their advantage. Move. Ask for the missing detail before yes turns into a tax. Send it to anyone paying for peace with their own resources today. Libra. Today possibility does not ask for enthusiasm, it asks for timing. The scene splits into two thresholds. One protects comfort, the other protects what truly matters. Jupiter gives volume to the vision travel study axis. If you do not choose a direction, the opening turns to noise. It is the kind of opening that feels too small to change the day until you miss it. The right moment does not need to convince you. It needs to find you awake enough to use a choice that opens perspective. The risk is not failing in a dramatic way. It is letting the good margin slip away through respectable delay. For Libra, useful peace does not leave a choice that opens perspective floating in the vague. The risk is waiting for a more comfortable sign, and finding out the real one was already clear enough. Move. Treat the opening as something alive. Make room for it now, not only theoretical attention. Come back here before you convince yourself that waiting a little longer is the noblest form of prudence. Scorpio. Today, love does not reward the performance. It rewards the true sentence. It will not be a dramatic blow that tells you. An emotional pact, still without form, reveals itself through a tiny but exact shift. Moon opposite Chiron. Today, the relationships agreements confrontation field responds immediately to anything left too vague. This is an emotional moment that may look small, but it measures the way you protect yourself while you desire. The emotional tension becomes useful only when an emotional pact, still without form, stops asking for reaction and starts asking for truth. For Scorpio, the day rewards you if you name the raw point before building strategy around it. The risk is letting the shiver steer you and realizing later that your dignity paid the price. The risk is mistaking the shiver for truth and realizing too late you were only asking for reassurance. Move, make the choice that protects both the heart and the boundary, not just one of them. Replay it when you want to choose intensity over clarity. Sagittarius. Do not pay with presents just because talking about price makes you uncomfortable. If you avoid the knot, a value left too open to interpretation stays elegant, but runs everything from underneath. If you name it, the day becomes readable again. Lunar eclipse. The pressure on the career role public direction axis is not there to scare you, but to force a truer shape. It is a practical scene that may look technical, but it is really measuring your ability to give value form. The material point today also speaks of power. A value left too open to interpretation shows who decides the worth of your presence. The risk is accepting the wrong measure today and finding yourself tomorrow defending a boundary already eroded. For Sagittarius, vision only matters today if it accepts the limit that makes it workable. The unspoken cost often becomes the cost you end up accepting. Move. Ask for the missing detail before yes turns into attacks. Replay it when value stays vague and you want to close politely. Capricorn. The dangerous part is not an agreement. It is the automatic gesture it asks of you. The moon makes visible the point that should not be handled on autopilot. It is a sentence between two people, small enough to postpone, heavy enough to change the atmosphere. Fast peace is seductive, but a false yes does not save the bond. It makes it more opaque. A bond does not break because of one clear sentence. It gets dirty when you call something vague peace. For Capricorn, holding everything together can look noble. Today, it can become a polished way of disappearing. If one true sentence destroys everything, maybe it was never balance. It was fear maintenance. Are you saving the bond or saving the face of the moment? Speak to one person. Say what you can truly carry. Then speak. Not to calm everything, but to make the pact real. Move. Name the real cost before you agree. Keep it aside for the moment when the cost becomes visible. Aquarius. Do not confuse attraction with a response. Today, the heart wants cleaner proof. The day opens with a precise detail. Chemistry that asks for a position does not want atmosphere. It wants position. With Jupiter in the field, the desire, creativity, pleasure field opens. The risk is calling growth even when only scatters you. What lights you up is not enough. Chemistry that asks for a position must leave you more real, not more dependent. It may warm you for real, or drop you back into an old script if you enter without a boundary. For Aquarius, mental distance helps only if it does not become a polished way of refusing the scene. Today's small truth is worth more than an intense gesture that asks for explanations tomorrow. If that contact excites you but shrinks you, the bill arrives as your dignity. Move. Listen to what lights you up, then choose the gesture that does not make you leave yourself. Save it if today you need the reminder that being chosen is not worth more than staying whole. Pisces. If desire asks for confirmation, slow down. Maybe it wants a choice. The cut does not close life. It closes the point that kept eating your direction. The sun illuminates the desire, creativity, pleasure field. What was secondary now asks for center and responsibility. It is the scene where someone looks at you, texts you, or provokes you, and you realize whether you want truth or quick relief. This is not generic romance. A shiver that is not enough on its own measures how well you can stay whole while something moves you. The risk is letting the shiver steer you, and realizing later that your dignity paid the price. For Pisces, the day rewards you if you turn intuition into action, not just atmosphere. The risk is confusing intensity with direction. One thing lights you up, the other keeps you whole. Move. Listen to what lights you up, then choose the gesture that does not make you leave yourself. Use it when desire tries to buy a response that is too easy.